Within this video interview, I am discussing the decomposition of and as the human physical body, and how we actually decompose the human physical body through and as our actual participation within and as thoughts of and as the mind consciousness system, wherein the decomposition of and as the human physical body as physically experienced through and as aging is in direct relation to and as our accepted and allowed existence through and as the mind consciousness system as primarily thought manifestations. And even in looking at the word decompose, decomposing, we are decomposing, meaning we aren't creating or living ourselves into and as a composition of an as life or living. We are decomposing ourselves and our existence within and as the physical. And this decomposing is being done through and as our evil, which is our reverse in and as living, through and as the manifestation of that evil as the mind consciousness system, as how we are reverse living, meaning we are walking and literally existing into, as, and through the mind to or towards death, the moment we're born, and through the years of our experience in this world and in this reality, we're literally decomposing ourselves in every moment of our existence through and as the mind consciousness system as thoughts. So we actually, in like the growing up years of our experience in this world and this reality, create the very system through and as which we decompose ourselves within and as the human physical body. So one half of our life in this reality is creating the very system through and as which we kill ourselves, that manifests in the second half of our life experience within this world, within this reality. And within the current world situation becoming so much more severe and extensive in terms of the nature of humanity and the nature of the world in its totality actually intensifying in relation to the true nature of man emerging and stepping forth, the extent to which we are experiencing ourselves within and as our mind consciousness system as thoughts and energy, as reactions of emotions and feelings, are becoming equally as extensive and severe. And so our lifespan is becoming so much more shorter, because our stages or phases of composing the very system or creating the very system through which we decompose ourselves and literally ruin and destroy and kill ourselves within and as our own human physical bodies, as our very own human physical bodies, as the very manifestation we exist within and as in this world and this reality, we are accepting and allowing ourselves to exist within a shorter time frame within this world and this reality, because everything is becoming more extensive, more severe, and intensifying both within the energetic thought experiences within ourselves and within this world and this reality, in our participation within and as everything that exists in this existence, where fear, suffering, and pain is proliferating and within that, the whole experience of ourselves within ourselves as the mind consciousness system is also compressing, and that's why most beings' life experiences are shortening. And herein, thus, how we are literally decomposing ourselves. We aren't creating a reality or existence of actual living, of actual life. We're accepting and allowing ourselves to create and then exist within the very system through and as which we decompose ourselves within and as the human physical body, as the mind consciousness system. And in terms of the mechanics of how exactly precisely we're doing that as the mind consciousness system through the thoughts we're participating within is as follows. So in terms of our primary existence within and as the mind consciousness system, as the conscious mind, wherein our participation within our world and our reality is primarily existing through and as thought participation, wherein we're preoccupied within our conscious mind within as the thoughts. That is the projected manifestations of and as the unconscious and subconscious behavioral, habitual, living resonances of what we are accepting and allowing ourselves to actually be within and as this physical reality through our human physical bodies. We are in constant participation within our thoughts. We are reinstituting and re-manifesting and recharging the very resonances that's existent within our subconscious and unconscious mind as our very behavioral patterns that we are accepting and allowing ourselves to function within and exist as. So, for example, in accepting and allowing yourself to participate in your thoughts within your conscious mind, each and every single thought is a projected manifestation of a resonance that you're actually living as a self-definition of and as a personality of your mind consciousness system. So within process as well, as we're walking the practical phase or stages in terms of facing ourselves as the mind consciousness system, we get to analyzing thoughts in terms of seeing what it is that the thought is showing of a self-definition one is accepting as a personality that one is living as an actual system within and as self, and how one is existing as that personality, as living definition through and as the mind consciousness system through the relationships that you're maintaining in your world and your reality. So in terms of thought manifestations, one is able to access much of what one is accepting and allowing oneself to exist as through and as the mind consciousness system. So thus, in terms of thought manifestations, they're like your chips, your little microchips in terms of your total network or platform as network information of and as the mind consciousness system. And when you, like, for example, place together all these microchips or all these chips as thoughts, you'll get like your motherboard, so to speak, of and as your total circuit, of and as your mind consciousness system as computer. So in accepting and allowing yourself to constantly participate in these thoughts, you're basically reconstituting, revalidating, recharging, remanifesting, reliving, and re-existing the total platform of and as your total mind consciousness system. And then eventually, in terms of your habitual, constant, continual, accepted and allowed participation in particular specific thoughts, as the nature of those thoughts that have a similar line of acceptance, meaning, like, for example, let's say your thoughts continuously go towards fear, or the nature of your thoughts is fear, and you, through this is now months and years, accept and allow yourself to constantly and continually participate in the nature of such thoughts and such thoughts within your conscious mind. What you're doing is you're recharging and remanifesting and validating and fueling that self-definition as resonant living behavioral personality that those thoughts are connected to in your subconscious mind and in your unconscious mind, that's integrated within and as your human physical body. And then what happens is within your physical human body, an actual layer starts manifesting, and your body layers these resonances as these thoughts, or these resonances that these thoughts emit inside your human physical body. So it forms an actual metallic system layer that is, and usually gets to about 1 centimeter thick. Once it's reached that thickness within your human physical body, it solidifies itself in your human physical body, and then your human physical body starts shaping according to that manifested resonance of and as the nature of the particular fear. So let's say, for example, fear of speaking in front of a crowd of people, and throughout your life you had instances wherein you were forced to basically face that fear, and no matter what you did, that fear still remained existent within you as an actual acceptance. And as you continued accepting and allowing that fear within yourself and those thoughts to be thought, meaning to be participated in throughout months or years, what then happened, your physical actually start manifesting as that fear, to the point where you are physically incapable of actually walking and standing in front of a crowd of people. And then with the solidifying of that fear as an actual system in your human physical body, it puts pressure on the physical muscular tissue. And within the pressure it places on the physical muscular tissue, because the very solidifying of that system in your human physical body, the solidification, within the solidification itself exist all the individual thoughts that you had in relation to that fear of standing in front of a crowd of people. Every single thought in relation to that particular specific fear solidifies as crystallizations in and as the human physical body. Then through time, in terms of as you now are living that fear in and as your actual human physical body, the resonant emittance of and as that crystallization, as that thought, actually chafes away at the very muscle tissue of and as the human physical body. And that chafing is what causes the decomposition of and as the actual human physical body in and as which you exist. And so we actually create the very decomposition of and as our own human physical bodies through accepting and allowing ourselves to participate in thoughts wherein the thoughts crystallize in the human physical body, manifest actual system layers, solidifies in the human physical body, and due to years of living as that particular system, as that particular specific fear, it actually affects the human physical body in a physical, actual, real, significant way. So there a practical example in relation to how we're responsible for our own deaths in this reality, and that we're decomposing ourselves. We are the evil that is existing in reverse through and as our dishonesty and deception as the very manifestation of and as the mind consciousness system, wherein we create a make-believe self, a make-believe life that constitute only our own interests. And within Destiny, we are showing or revealing what it is that we're accepting and allowing ourselves to exist as within, through, and as the mind consciousness system, and the consequences of such an acceptance and allowance on ourselves, and the opportunities that we have within this world and this reality to actually create and manifest something that lasts. That we're no more accepting and allowing ourselves to create the very system that's, and through which we kill ourselves, literally, slowly but surely, every moment as we participate in the thought, as we decompose. We're proposing that we're actually able to create ourselves into an as a composition of an as life, wherein we utilize the human physical body in its utmost fullest potential of actual living, and what it means to express through the physical that is here, in terms of actually participating with the human physical body and what it consists of and exists as in an equal standing in an equal way, and within that exploring, realizing, seeing what it is that we've actually been missing as ourselves here. So therefore, stop the mind, stop yourself as the mind, through assisting and supporting oneself to start with one's process and stopping participation within the thoughts, so that you can step outside that thought possession, so that you can start seeing, realizing, understanding what it is that you're accepting and allowing yourself to live within, through, and as the mind consciousness system in the physical, so that we can start getting out of the mind consciousness system and actually into the real physical. But obviously first your process starts with stopping thoughts, because at the moment all that beings are and existing as within the conscious mind is thoughts. So you stop the thoughts so that you can start seeing the actual living resonances of and as your mind consciousness system existent within your subconscious and unconscious mind that you're accepting and allowing yourself to exist as, which is your behavioral habitual personalities, and then from there to be able to walk outside then the structure of the mind. So you go from the energy body of the mind consciousness system through stopping the thoughts, then you go to the structural manifestation or the structural body of the mind consciousness system, where you start seeing your personalities through your subconscious and unconscious mind, and then within that you stop, stand up, you change, and you walk outside, out of the whole structure of the mind consciousness system into the actual human physical body. And then the process starts in terms of changing ourselves into living compositions of life. Thank you.